Jamal Carter, a 15-year-old black boy, spent most of his days helping his mother run a small fruit stand by the roadside. Life in their rundown neighborhood was tough, but Jamal was resourceful and hardworking. Despite their struggles, his mother always taught him to be kind to others, no matter how little they had. One hot afternoon, Jamal noticed a luxury car parked awkwardly by the roadside, its driver looking frustrated. Curious, Jamal approached cautiously. The man, a well-dressed middle-aged gentleman, stood next to his car staring at a flat tire. He was clearly out of his element. "Need some help, sir?" Jamal asked, wiping sweat off his brow. The man looked up, surprised. "I've called for roadside assistance, but they said it'll take over an hour," he said. "I've never changed a tire before." Jamal nodded with a small smile. "I can do it for you, if you don't mind waiting a few minutes." The man hesitated but then nodded. "Sure, thank you." Jamal," the boy replied, grabbing a jack from the car's trunk. As Jamal worked, his hands moved with practiced ease. He'd learned to change tires from his late father, who used to work in a mechanic shop before his passing. The man introduced himself as Mr. Greg Wallace but didn't reveal that he was a billionaire. Instead, he watched the boy work diligently, impressed by his calm confidence and willingness to help a stranger. "Where'd you learn to do this?" Greg asked, trying to make conversation. "My dad taught me before he passed away," Jamal said without looking up. "It's come in handy a few times around here." Greg noticed Jamal's clothes were worn, and his shoes were barely holding together. Despite that, the boy seemed cheerful, focused on completing the task at hand. When Jamal finished, he stood up and dusted off his hands. "There you go, sir. Good as new." Greg smiled, genuinely grateful. "Thank you, Jamal. You've saved me a lot of trouble today." He pulled out his wallet and offered the boy some money. Jamal hesitated. "I didn't do it for money, sir. I just wanted to help." Greg was taken aback by the boy's humility. "Still, take this as a thank you." Reluctantly, Jamal accepted the money, not realizing this simple act of kindness would soon change his life in ways he couldn't imagine. As Greg drove away, he couldn't stop thinking about Jamal. The boy's politeness and integrity stood out in a world where such qualities seemed increasingly rare. He decided he wanted to do something for Jamal. The next day, Greg made a few calls, gathering information about Jamal and his family. He learned about their financial struggles and the boy's dreams of becoming an engineer, a dream that seemed impossible given their circumstances. A week later, Jamal was helping his mother at the fruit stand when a black car pulled up. Greg stepped out, smiling warmly. "Jamal, remember me?" Greg called out. Jamal was surprised but greeted him politely. "Of course, Mr. Wallace. How can I help you?" "Actually," Greg said, "I'm here to help you this time." Jamal frowned, confused, while his mother approached cautiously, wondering what was going on. Greg explained how much Jamal's kindness had impacted him. "You didn't have to help me that day, but you did. That says a lot about who you are." He then handed Jamal a folder. Inside was a scholarship offer to a prestigious private school, fully paid for, along with a promise to fund his college education. Jamal's eyes widened, and his mother gasped, tears welling up. "Why would you do this for us?" she asked. "Because kindness like Jamal's deserves to be rewarded," Greg said simply, "and I believe in helping those who help others." Jamal was speechless. "Thank you, sir," he finally managed, his voice shaking with emotion. Over the next few years, Jamal thrived at his new school. Greg became a mentor to him, offering guidance and support. Jamal worked hard, determined to make the most of the opportunity he'd been given. By the time Jamal graduated high school, he had already been accepted into a top engineering program. He stood on the stage at his graduation ceremony, looking out at the crowd and spotting Greg. "None of this would have been possible without Mr. Wallace," Jamal said during his speech. "He taught me that small acts of kindness can lead to life-changing opportunities." Greg felt a surge of pride, knowing he had made a difference in Jamal's life. Years later, Jamal returned to his old neighborhood, not as a struggling teenager but as a successful engineer. He started a program to mentor underprivileged kids, teaching them skills and providing resources they needed to succeed. When asked what inspired him, Jamal always told the story of how changing a flat tire for a stranger had changed his life. Greg and Jamal remained close, their bond a testament to the power of kindness and the ripple effect it can create. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us for more impactful stories that inspire, move, and connect us all. Turn on notifications so you'll always be a part of the journey. See you in the next one.